My sister wore my dress, took my college acceptance letter, and even flirted with my boyfriend. Everyone called her the better one. But when we both applied for the same scholarship and she mocked my chances, I said nothing. At the ceremony, they called my name, not hers. The scholarship committee had seen her plagiarized essay because I sent it. I let her dig her own grave. My name is Jake. I am 19 years old, a sophomore in college now, and if you had asked me 2 years ago, I would have told you life is supposed to be fair. But nah, life is like those crooked carnival games, looks easy, but the house always wins. I have a younger sister, Emma. She is 17, a senior in high school, and from the outside, she looks like she's got it all figured out. Blonde hair, perfect smile, killer grades, and a way of charming everyone she meets. Teachers love her, parents brag about her. My friends even say, "Man, your sister's the better one." Better one. That phrase used to sting every time I heard it. Because what I saw behind closed doors was nothing like the picture-perfect image she painted. Emma had a way of stealing the spotlight, and sometimes stuff that didn't belong to her. Like that one dress I bought for homecoming last year. It was my dress, not hers. But one night, she just took it from my closet and wore it to her school dance. I didn't find out until later because she left me a borrowed note, acting like it was no big deal. Everyone was talking about how stunning she looked. And me? I was stuck wearing my old hoodie to my own party. Or when my college acceptance letter came. I remember tearing it open in my room, shaking like crazy. I got into State University, the one I worked my ass off for. But 2 days later, my mom tells me Emma's been bragging at her school about getting accepted there too. I checked my mail. My letter was missing. That letter was everything to me, but Emma had taken it. Not just to brag, but she wanted to be the star, the girl everyone talked about. It hurt, but I didn't say a word. What could I say? Hey, that's my letter. Then there was my boyfriend, Tyler. We had been dating for 6 months, and everything was great until Emma started texting him. Just little things at first, jokes, questions about his classes. But then she got bolder. At a party, Tyler told me Emma was flirting with him, and I was furious. But he swore nothing happened. Still, the doubt gnawed at me. Emma always had this way of twisting reality, so she came out on top. Everyone called her the better one. Teachers, friends, even family sometimes. And me? I felt like I was always the afterthought. Then this scholarship came up, the Miller Scholarship. It was the big deal for both of us, a full ride basically, and the thing we both desperately wanted. Emma laughed when I told her I was applying. "You don't have a chance, Jake," she said. "You're just lucky they let you in college at all." I said nothing. What's the point? She always acted like she was miles ahead. I was just the loser brother she had to tolerate. But deep down, I knew I had one shot to prove her wrong. The scholarship required an essay, and I put everything into mine, hours of writing, rewriting, and bleeding my heart out on those pages. Emma? She wrote hers the night before and copied half of it from some website. I found out because I accidentally saw her laptop when she left it unlocked. I wanted to say something, but I figured it wasn't my place. Little did she know, I sent both essays to the scholarship committee, hers anonymously, of course. The weeks after I sent those essays felt like I was living in some weird dream. I kept my distance from Emma, watching her act like she already won. She walked around like she owned the world, laughing louder, dressing sharper, and throwing shade my way every chance she got. One afternoon, I was at the campus library when my phone buzzed. A text from Tyler. "Hey Jake, can we talk?" My heart skipped. I wasn't sure if it was good or bad. When we met up later, he looked uneasy. "Look man, I gotta tell you something. Emma's been texting me again. She said she's sorry, but I think she was trying to get between us." I clenched my fists. "What did you say?" I told her straight up to back off. "I'm with you." It was the first time Tyler stood up for me like that. I nodded, but something about the whole thing didn't feel right. Why would Emma even care? Maybe because she was desperate. The day of the scholarship ceremony arrived. The auditorium was packed, full of nervous students and proud parents. Emma sat next to me, smiling like she already had the trophy in her hands. The announcer started calling names, and my stomach twisted with every name but mine. Then she laughed under her breath. "See? Told you you wouldn't get it." I bit my tongue. Didn't say a word. When my name finally rang out, a hush fell over the room. I stood up, stunned. Me? Jake? Emma's face went pale, her smile frozen. She looked around, like searching for an escape route. After the applause died down, I got the envelope. Inside was a letter congratulating me, and a note about the committee discovering plagiarism in another applicant's essay. That applicant was Emma. She hadn't just copied a few lines. She stole whole paragraphs from an article online. The committee used a plagiarism detector, and boom, they found her. I watched Emma's expression crumble. No more perfect smile, no more flawless charm. Just a girl caught in her own mess. Later, in the parking lot, she confronted me. "You sent my essay? Why?" I looked her in the eye, steady. "Because someone had to stop you before you ruined everything for both of us." She scoffed. "You think you're better than me now?" "No," I said. "I just think I'm done letting you walk all over me." She stormed off, but this time, it felt like I finally won, not because of the scholarship, but because I didn't let her keep winning every fight. I thought that was the end of it, that Emma would lay low, maybe try to fix her mistakes. But nope. The next morning, the whole college was buzzing with the scandal. Emma's name was everywhere, text, social media, even some classmates whispering behind my back. Some called me a hero. Others said I was a snake for exposing her. I didn't care. She had to face the consequences. But what I didn't expect was how my own friends started acting weird around me. Suddenly, people I thought were close were avoiding me, like I'd become the bad guy. Then Tyler disappeared. Just stopped replying to texts, dodged me at school. I caught him once with Emma, talking quietly. I wasn't about to blow up without proof, so I held my breath. One afternoon, my phone rang. It was Tyler. "Jake, I owe you an apology." Turns out, Emma had twisted the story, told Tyler I sent her essay to the committee out of spite, that I sabotaged her just to make her look bad. And Tyler believed it. I had to fight hard to convince him I wasn't that guy. Took weeks of awkward conversations, and honestly, I wasn't sure if we'd ever get back to what we had. Meanwhile, Emma dropped out of the scholarship race, but she didn't stop there. She started spreading rumors about me, claiming I bullied her, that I was jealous of her success. My own reputation was on the line. Then came the real twist. One night, I got a call from my mom. She was crying, telling me Emma got into some trouble at her school, a serious violation. They caught her cheating again, but this time, it was different. She tried to blame me for it, saying I forced her to copy. That was when I realized something. Emma wasn't just fighting for the spotlight anymore. She was desperate, and she was dragging me down with her. I had to make a choice, stay quiet and let her ruin everything, or fight back for real this time. Want me to keep going? The next part dives deeper into how this all blew up and what I did next. I decided I wasn't going to sit back and let Emma's lies destroy me. So I started gathering proof, texts, emails, even recordings when she'd slip up. It wasn't easy. I felt like a detective in my own family, but I had to do it. One evening, while scrolling through her old messages on her phone, she'd left it unlocked, I found something that made my blood run cold. Emma had been texting someone I never expected, my college dean. At first, I thought maybe she was trying to charm her way out of trouble. But the texts weren't innocent. Emma was offering to do favors, promising special attention if she could get certain grades, maybe even hush up about her cheating. I showed the messages to my mom. She was shocked, but agreed we had to tell someone. The dean's reaction was immediate. Turns out, she'd already been suspicious, but didn't have proof. Now, Emma's cheating scandal was blowing up bigger than ever. The college launched an investigation, and the dean made it clear Emma was facing serious consequences, maybe even expulsion if things got worse. Emma's whole world was falling apart, and suddenly, she started acting desperate in ways I didn't expect. One night, I got a call. It was her. "Jake, I need your help." Her voice was shaky, almost breaking. She said she was scared, that she didn't know where to turn. She begged me not to let this ruin her life completely. I hesitated. Part of me wanted to let her fall. But another part knew family mattered, even when it sucked. I told her I'd listen, but she had to come clean and face it head on. No more lies, no more hiding. The next day, she showed up at my apartment, looking small and lost. It was like all the confidence had been drained out of her. We sat down, and she finally admitted everything: the plagiarism, the cheating, the lies she told Tyler and others. She said she felt invisible unless she was the better one, even if it meant breaking everything around her. I didn't say much. Sometimes words don't fix things. But as she left, I realized something. Maybe this was the moment she needed to start over. Or maybe she'd just dig the hole deeper. I thought Emma's confession was the turning point. Maybe she'd finally own up and fix things. But life loves to mess with you when you least expect it. A week after she came clean to me, I got a text from Tyler. He wanted to meet. We met at a coffee shop, and he looked nervous. "Jake, there's something you need to know," he said, eyes darting around. "Emma told me she's pregnant." My stomach dropped. "Pregnant? Me? Tyler?" "No, Emma, pregnant." He explained she'd just found out and was freaking out. She wasn't sure who the dad was because of her reckless behavior lately. I didn't know what to say. I felt like I was stuck in a nightmare. Then Tyler dropped the bomb. She asked me to help cover it up, to pretend it was someone else's kid so she wouldn't get kicked out or worse. That was when I realized how deep the chaos had gotten. But here's the kicker. The scholarship committee called me 2 days later. They wanted me to meet with them again. I thought it was about the award, but it wasn't. Turns out, Emma had sent a desperate letter trying to appeal her plagiarism case, claiming I framed her and that her essay was original. The committee wasn't buying it, but they wanted me to testify. I decided to bring everything to light: the essays, the messages, the lies. They thanked me for being honest. A few weeks later, I got a letter saying the scholarship was extended for the entire duration of college. And Emma? She was expelled. But the story didn't end there. Emma disappeared from social media, dropped out of school entirely. No one heard much after that. Tyler and I patched things up slowly. I realized I couldn't let the drama ruin what we had. As for me, I learned a tough lesson. Sometimes the better one is just the loudest liar. And sometimes the quiet ones who wait and watch, they end up winning. Emma dug her own grave, and I just watched her fall. Thanks for sticking with me through this wild story. If you like the twists and want to hear more real, intense stories like this, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and stay tuned. There's plenty more where this came from. Catch you next time.